How's it going, everyone? It's Creo Slick. Last weekend was the 2021 iRacing Daytona 24 Hours. With roughly 2,500 teams entered and roughly 10,000 drivers, I can safely say this was the largest endurance event in iRacing history. And as you already know, because you clicked on this video, my teammates and I found ourselves in the crosshairs of a team whose sole mission, seemingly, was to ruin our race. Now, I first want to mention I'm not making this video because I think this was a huge injustice and this was some terrible thing. At the end of the day, it is a video game and I totally get that. However, my teammates and I did spend a lot of time preparing for this race. So to have another team out there trying to ruin our race is an incredibly frustrating situation. Now, I want to go through the replays of all the wrecks and give you my opinion on the whole situation, but first, I want to show you a replay of the live stream so you can get a feeling for what it was like from my perspective. Fuck me, that was close. What lap was that? 305? Jesus, what was that? See that?
Shit. Yeah, that's the same. Alright. Same. Rejoined just to do that. But he's gonna be coming back. He's right racing right now.
Okay.
I don't even know, like.
Okay, he's just trying to take us out, I guess.
He's 100% trying to take us out. I'll keep an eye on him.
Thanks.
He's gonna do something stupid. He's cutting the thing. Slow off if you can. Do it like.
Yeah. Dude, come on, man. Really? Really, man? Really? Really, man? Gonna try to take me out?
Oh, he took the penalty?
Yeah, there it is. There it is. Yep. Really class guy. Classy, man. This wreck sent us back to the pits where we lost about 8 laps, but we had no intention of giving up and immediately started clawing back the positions that we had lost. But as you could tell from the stream, I actually had no idea that a team was out there trying to intentionally wreck us. And I was shocked to find out that they had actually tried and failed to wreck us about 2 hours earlier in the race. So wrecking attempts really don't get any more blatant than that. He made no attempt to brake for the corner, and when he realized he was about to miss, he actually hit the accelerator and tried to turn in more. Fortunately for us, he missed, but unfortunately for him, iRacing doesn't determine penalties based on whether or not you hit somebody in an intentional wreck, only that you tried to intentionally wreck somebody. So if anyone's watching this video trying to learn how to intentionally wreck better, which I really hope they're not, essentially don't do what this person did, because you'll get banned from iRacing and he didn't even make contact with us. But as you saw in this live stream, the next time they tried to wreck us, it was equally unsuccessful, but they at least made contact. Okay, I have to admit, every time I watch this clip, I am just as confused as I was during the stream. As far as intentional wrecks go, for execution I give this a 2, but for creativity it's definitely a 10. I have never seen something like this before. So basically, right here, if he wants to hit me off the track, all he has to do is, in air quotes, miss his braking zone and hit me from behind, and then I end up in the wall. But instead, he acts like he's trying to avoid me, I guess, and just trying to keep his car under control. But his car immediately starts to slide. And in order to save the slide, he would have to turn left. But instead of saving the slide, he turns into me and turns right. So this proves that he's not trying to keep his car under control and just trying to hit me. So really, all he did was telegraph that he's trying to wreck me and just do a bad job at it. But it does make for a cool reverse angle shot, so I'll give him that. Unfortunately for me and my teammates, his next wrecking attempt was much less creative, but much more effective. Intentional wrecking definitely isn't rocket science, and it certainly doesn't take any talent. All you have to do is hit a car from behind hard enough that they miss the corner and go into the wall. And that's exactly what they did here. I don't really need to analyze this because it's so straightforward. But despite being sent back to the pits, our determination never wavered, and we fought our way back to 7th place. Unfortunately for us, this other team was still in the race, and they had definitely learned from their first 3 attempts about how to properly wreck us. Here they opted not to use the weird sideswipe technique, but instead used the hit really hard from directly behind technique, which as we all know is much more effective. But again, despite this team's best efforts, they were not going to break our will, and we continued on to finish top 10 in class, which I'm pretty stoked about. But I'm sure some of you right now are yelling at your screen that we must have done something to deserve all this ire. So I'll play the first incident between our 2 cars without any commentary from me, so you can form your own opinion about it, and then I'll give you my opinion about that incident and my closing thoughts.
But you gained a lot on him, and you're still gaining on P6 as well. It must have been P5 that actually boxed.
Oh, fuck, sorry about that. I just didn't think that he would break so early. Did I really touch him, or...?
It was netcode mostly.
Yeah. Yeah, I still cut it too close, but... Damn it.
So first of all, I want to say, I totally understand why this team was upset. As I already mentioned, we spend so much time preparing for 24-hour races that when something like this happens, it can be so dejecting, especially when it's not your fault. However, maybe more controversially, I don't totally blame our driver either. To me, this is one of those awkward racing incidents that can happen over the course of a 24-hour race. Now, before you tell me I'm a complete idiot and I'm totally wrong, just hear me out for a second. So first of all, the other team's car is in a faster class than ours, meaning that he should be theoretically faster into the corner and through the corner than us. However, he's exiting pit lane, and the pit lane is awkward at Daytona because it dumps you onto the racing line. So we have a situation here where we're in a slower class car, coming up on a faster class car that's on the racing line. So 99 times out of 100, that faster class car will brake later than we can brake and be going faster into the corner. So what our driver does is he brakes at the normal braking point, expecting this to happen. Unfortunately, this is the one time out of 100 where that driver's actually going slower, and I'm not sure why. It could be cold tires, he might not be as familiar with the pit lane exit. Whatever the reason, the result is the same, and we end up running into the back of him because he's going slower than we expected. But, as mentioned in the stream, we actually didn't even really run into the back of them. It was mostly netcode. Our driver's first reaction after the crash was, wait, did I really hit him? From the onboard, it looked like it was barely even a tap, and when looking at the replay, the front of our car was about 4 feet from the rear of their car, and the closing speed wasn't very high. So this ended up being a classic case of sim racing netcode, where a contact that should have been a small bump at best ends up spinning another car out and slamming it into the wall. So that's why, in my opinion, an accident that at first glance might look like a huge mistake for my teammate was really a combination of unfortunate circumstances and netcode that led to the other team crashing. But regardless of whether or not you think that accident was our fault, their reaction to it was completely ridiculous. Endurance racing comes down to how you deal with adversity. Because I'm sorry, but shit's gonna go wrong in 24 hours. You're gonna be sleep deprived, have blisters, you'll make mistakes, your teammates will make mistakes, there'll be server issues, sometimes scheduler issues, which I didn't even know was a thing until the 24 hours of Daytona. And yes, sometimes you'll have to deal with unfortunate circumstances or other teams' mistakes. And how you deal with this adversity determines what kind of endurance driver you really are. In this video, we saw 2 prime examples of that. One team completely shut down and gave up after an unfortunate circumstance in the first 3 hours of the race, and another team dealt with adversity the entire race, never gave up, and still finished in the top 10 in their class. So if you take anything away from this video about endurance racing and iRacing, I want it to be that you are in control of your destiny. A group of people trying to ruin your race can't ruin your race unless you let them. And I couldn't be more proud of my teammates because they never let this other team ruin our race. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching, and I appreciate all the love and support from you guys too. So I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time.
So, everyone else got 0 I rating, I got +1.
What the hell?
Okay, no, it wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it.
For me, it definitely was.